Tonight, a major update to a story we discovered here at WHAS11. Underage children working behind the counter of one of the largest fast food chains in our area. Thanks for watching. I'm Shay McAllister.
And I'm Doug Proffitt. Now Congressman Morgan McGarvey is using new legislation to ensure it doesn't happen again. Alexis Jones reports on the bill and how it could prevent companies from taking advantage of children.
Congressman McGarvey says the Workers' Power Act was sparked from a federal investigation we told you back in May. Several Louisville McDonald's in violation of child labor laws, including this one on Taylor Boulevard.
They got little kids up in here working the drive-thru.
Disturbing video we first showed you in August 2020.
This is ridiculous, and wonder why the line's wrapped around, because I got these little kids up in this mother.
This is the moment a couple found two children preparing orders after midnight at this drive-thru on Taylor Boulevard. We blurred the kids' faces to protect their identity, but customer Nathan Pitts said they looked as young as 10 years old.
The fact that these kids just handed me my drinks is me off.
After a months-long investigation, the Labor Department discovered the children were employed by the McDonald's franchise and sometimes worked as late as 2 in the morning. Investigators also uncovered a total of 305 labor violations at locations across our area.
That's completely unacceptable. And it took the news media breaking a story in order for the Department of Labor to conduct an investigation. It's because they're so under-resourced and understaffed.
This is why Congressman Morgan McGarvey says he introduced the Workers' Power Act. The bill seeks to provide the Labor Department with resources needed to crack down on violations. That includes workplace health and safety hazards, wage theft, and child labor.
First and foremost, I'm a parent. To see 10-year-olds working the fryer at 2 o'clock in the morning is scary. It's dangerous. It's why we have these laws that prevent that from happening in the first place. But if we don't have the enforcement behind it to make sure that those laws are protecting our kids, then these unsafe working conditions are able to continue.
To ensure they don't, the legislation will promote reports on the Department of Labor's needs, incentivize recruitment and retention, and create a grant to increase enforcement throughout states. As of right now, McGarvey says the bill has 36 co-sponsors, and he hopes to move it to committee soon. In the meantime, he says the community can help.
If you see something that looks dangerous, report it. Don't assume that somebody knows it's going on who can do something about it. Ultimately, we want to make sure the Department of Labor has the resources so that this can't happen, but it's up to all of us to do our part.
And protect our children. In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS 11 on your side.
The McDonald's franchises were issued more than $200,000 in fines as a result of the labor law violations.
The Kentucky State Police and the FBI have wrapped up their latest search for evidence involved in at least one of 3 high-profile Bardstown cases. That includes ambush police officer Jason Ellis, missing mother of 5 Crystal Rogers, or her father Tommy Ballard, who was shot and killed on a hunting trip 1 year after she disappeared. Take a look at the search aftermath. 2 huge holes on separate properties in Nelson County, right off of Thompson Hill Road and Cox's Creek. Neighbors say authorities began searching the property on Monday morning. Special Prosecutor Shane Young, who's been assigned to those 3 cases, would not specify which this search was connected to. He also did not reveal if they found any evidence.
2 teenagers are in the hospital right now after they were shot in the legs this afternoon in Louisville's Newberg neighborhood. It happened just afternoon on Shady Villa Drive in Newberg. LMPD says both of the teenagers were alert and conscious when they were taken to the hospital with their leg injuries and that their injuries are not life-threatening. LMPD's non-fatal shooting unit is handling this investigation. Call the anonymous tip line 574-LMPD if you can help detectives. And this morning, firefighters in New Albany were busy as they were called to a house on fire. It happened just after 5 this morning off Beeler Street north of downtown New Albany. Fire crews say when they arrived, they found heavy fire coming from the building. One woman was able to get out with her 2 cats and nobody was hurt.
Heads up now for Indiana drivers. The Sherman Mitten Bridge is going to be closing down heading eastbound for over a week and all starts Friday night. The bridge will be shut down heading into Kentucky starting at 10 p.m. this Friday. It'll reopen at 5 a.m. on Wednesday, December 20th. The suggested alternative route is I-265 and I-65. Sherman Mitten Renewal Project leaders say this closure will allow crews to work safely as they shift into the next phase of this project.
Frost everywhere across Kentuckiana this morning, but finally, hour by hour today, it really warmed up nicely.
It's gorgeous sunset early already. Usually we have to wait until 5:30 till we're seeing this.
I know it. It's holding on. It's holding on for a while there. And Colleen, how much longer are we going to see these great sunsets before you bring in clouds and a lot of rain?
Just tonight. Tomorrow it's actually going to be pretty cloudy. Even though we're staying dry for Friday, those clouds are not going to waste any time. We have a warm setup and a cloudy afternoon for Friday, and then a lot of rain Saturday into Sunday. Right now temperatures are in the upper 50s. After a frosty start, we all warmed up to the upper 50s. Did not get to 60, but we're sitting at 58 here in Louisville. Throughout the rest of the evening, we'll actually be staying in the 50s, so it's pretty comfortable for your Thursday evening stroll. Temperatures staying in the 50s even till as late as 9-10 p.m. We have a warmer night ahead. Not as cold. We're waking up to above average in the low 40s. Mostly sunny skies throughout the first half of the day, but once you head towards 1-2 p.m., those clouds are going to increase in a mostly cloudy setup as we head towards Friday evening. Highs are actually going to be in the 60s. We're staying dry for Friday. It's not until Saturday where that rain will really start to ramp up. I have an update of the timing that rain will ramp up for your weekend, and I'll tell you about it here coming up. Doug, Shay.
All right, Colleen, thank you so much. Well, today we are learning more about the shooting on campus at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas yesterday. 3 people were shot to death and a 4th critically wounded. School officials have announced no students were killed during this shooting. All victims were family members. The school identified 2 of the victims who died at the business school as professors Patricia Navarro-Velez and Jerry Chang. The school says a 3rd faculty member was killed. They have not yet been identified to their family. The suspect has been identified as 67-year-old Anthony Polito. Police say he had previously been a business professor at 2 other universities and had unsuccessfully applied to teach at this school. He was allegedly armed with a handgun. Investigators searched an apartment in nearby Henderson, Nevada, believed to be the shooter's home. So far, they have not identified a motive for the shooting. The Congresswoman, Dina Titus, tells ABC News that she believes many of her constituents are frustrated by the continuing gun violence.
You know, many people think of Nevada as kind of the Wild West, but even in Nevada, public opinion shows that people want universal background checks.
Some of the students who survived on Wednesday's shooting gathered together to mourn the victims and seek some solace at an off-campus prayer vigil last night. The university will be closed for the rest of the week.
More local news here tonight at 5. Medical marijuana in Kentucky. You've been keeping a close eye on it, and as you know, it is a reality, but in the near future. It's going to be legal in Kentucky in nearly a year, and some colleges here in Louisville are already preparing people for the new change with business courses and a business plan. Ian Hardwitt visited 2 local universities today, Sullivan and Bellarmine, to see their unique teaching plan.
Bellarmine University is rolling out 4 new certification courses ahead of Kentucky's medical cannabis legalization in 2025. Each online course begins with Cannabis 101, then moves on to one of 4 specializations: business, agriculture, compliance, or healthcare. It's offered through a partnership with a corporate cannabis educator, Green Flower.
I hope it's going to be super popular up front. We can get individuals who are just interested, who are kind of out on their own right now, and then we can start partnering with our healthcare systems, with some of our larger companies in the city and different things like that.
And just a couple miles away at Sullivan University, they also offer a business certificate for cannabis studies. Tani Renfro started the program back in 2021.
Because just going out there and cutting the plants.
Field trips and hands-on activities supplement Sullivan's online cannabis certification.
We touch on just about all the different social aspects, and then toward the middle of the course we start getting into, if you go into this industry, these are some of the things business-wise you need to know, and kind of pointing them in a career path.
Some of her students have already gone on to do business in Kentucky, like one who grows hemp in Campbellsville. Regardless of when they began, both universities are at work preparing for Kentucky's new future. In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS11 on your side.
Green Flower told us today that they enrolled 1 person after Bellarmine's announcement just yesterday and had over 100 phone calls of people interested. We've got links for you to that program and the one at Sullivan in Louisville on our website, WHAS11.com. Just look for this story.
A new audit found community colleges like Jefferson County Technical College were overcharged by the college system. Kentucky Auditor Mike Harmon released the results of his investigation, finding the Kentucky Community and Technical College system overcharged schools more than $24 million. Then they say the system kept the money, putting it in their general funds. Harmon also found the college system did not accurately or transparently report the amounts of general funds. On top of that, they found more than $10,700 in duplicate payments. The KCTC system sent a statement to WHAS11 today saying the new administration requested the audit and these results confirm their suspicions. They go on to say, quote, President Dr. Quarles has expressed his intent to act quickly and decisively to correct any deficiencies in business and accounting practices that predate his assumption of the KCTCS presidency. In anticipation of this report, the system began creating and implementing new policies and procedures to promote transparency and clear oversight.